But one of the reasons a lot of guys gave up is because there was this pocket of women that was their league of women. And that league of women, because of the sort of global population behavior of women and the changes in the behavior of women, had moved into this different league of men and was now shunning this league of men. But that was like an illusion because the league of men that had sort of now was now giving them attention and stuff had no intention of like marrying them, right? They were just sort of deluding themselves into thinking that they were valuable with this because these men would sleep with them. But like as we talked about earlier, that's just what fucking men do. And so you disrupt the hierarchy in such a way that instead of everybody just pairing off, right? You have this giant cluster of women going here, leaving behind this middle cluster of men who now have nobody to go after because they're being put down by these women who now perceive that they're up here because of the whatever advances or freedom or whatever's happening. But like that's why people are being isolated. Like it's just a math problem. Like if you have one chunk of guys that starts getting like 10x, 20x the amount of women that guys like a couple tiers below them get, it's a 50-50 distribution of men and women. Like it's just a math problem.
I think women absolutely love attention in the same way that, and not all, I get it, not all of it, because a lot of it is like gross and over the line and all that. But the attention of the fact that you are desired is an inherent desire in the same way that a man simply wants to express his love, his admiration, his appreciation for women. It's so core to who we are. I love women, like in general. Like
what?
Yeah.
No, stop it.
And I think that like to diminish that,
you love women so much that you created more of them. I don't have enough women.
But like literally living in a way, like I'm thankful that I'm currently not like dealing with what men are dealing with today, because it is actually really hard. It is actually, I don't know how you navigate that, where you genuinely can't like do or say the things that were achieving the outcomes that you used to in the past. Like there's the incel movement makes complete sense to me. Like it's like I get it. I
it does.
get it.
Of course it does. And like the roots of feminism make sense, but like from my perspective, the correct adjustment was for men to change their behavior.
Yes.
Because we were not behaving in good ways.
Yes.
But I think that we have largely done that. But the problem is like men changed their behavior, but then women largely stopped acting like women and they changed their behavior and they started acting more like men in a lot of ways. And so we get this like overcorrection where like the men tone down the piggishness a lot. Like I'm not saying it doesn't exist anymore, but like we're not whistling in the street. Like if you and I went out and just whistled at women in the street, like everybody we know would look at us being like, the fuck are you doing? Like it wouldn't be like a socially acceptable behavior.
Eric and I would be.
But now like women act in a way that is like not like women, and it's like the balance is it's like thrown off.
Yeah, it's great to just go to like another country and immediately it's so different. Like so much of what we're talking about is so American in its nature. Like you go to another country right now and men still honk at women driving down,
Eastern
walking
Europe
down the street.
Yeah, and women act like
You
dude. This video came across my feed today, and it was just this like woman in the Balkans. And
Yeah.
she was talking.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did.
She's like, "I welcome to Balkans. Like, I cook for you. I wear dress and high heels every day and everything." And like all the men are sharing this. They're just like, "This is fucking awesome." That's like it's like kind of what men want. Like men don't necessarily want to act like assholes, but like we still like women acting like women. Like most men, and I'm not speaking for all men. Most men are not like, gee, I just really want my woman to have like a dead ends like project manager job at like Facebook. We don't care about that. Like you as like a woman, you're very rarely going to be able to compete with men on the fields that men play at. Like, and if you start trying to play in like the male field and we compare you to us, then like we're like, you're just like we don't want you to be like, oh, you're just like a worse version. I like women.
You're already competing with men all day.
Yeah, like I don't want to do that. But if you're like a woman and you're like doing like woman stuff, like traditionally feminine stuff that I can't do or have no desire to do, then I look at you and go like, oh, this is nice. Like, I really like this. But like, if you're just like, I have a law degree, I'm just like, okay, like most people don't care about that. Like, doesn't move the needle.
Yeah, but that's not a necessity. And like, I think that's fine if they have law degrees and
Of course
professions.
it's fine, but it's not like a.
But according to your theory, they would do it because, like, what if out of all these men that I have options, and none of them are good enough for the value that I have, that I've been told, and so I need to be able to support
because they're like
myself
valuing themselves like in terms of this male framework of value. To value yourself on like career and like earning potential and this stuff, that's like a male framework of value. And again, like I get that like not everybody agrees with me. Like I would say a lot of people don't
Yeah, I
agree
feel
with
like
me.
this
But I
would
think
be a good YouTube short.
Yeah,
Because I
just
think
clip
most people
that one
would
part.
disagree with you.
I disagree. I think most men value the feminine qualities of women more than their like careers and stuff. Like if a woman does something truly extraordinary, like if I met a woman who was like world-class concert pianist or something, I would be like, wow, that's fucking cool. Like I can't do that. That's like really impressive. That's super valuable. And like I would like actually be like blown away by that. If I met a girl who was like a 5'5" pickleball player, I'd be like, oh shit, like I can't do that. That's very impressive and like I admire that. But if you're like a project manager for Facebook and like you're kind of like orienting yourself around like kind of generic girl boss thing, like for me personally, like, and this is like a change in my life. Like when I was in my 20s, like I thought like, I was like, oh yeah, I love girl bosses. I love like these women who are like powerful. And then like one of the uncomfortable truths I discovered about myself is that like, I'm actually kind of like a caveman. I actually just like traditional women. I like women doing like traditionally.
Yeah,
I like being like cared for. Like I do want to be.
Even the 5'5",
You go in the Balkans.
the 5'5" pickleball
I'm
player
down with the Balkans.
or
man.
the concert pianist. You're not like sexually selecting for that anyways, even if it is impressive. It's like, it's just something that's impressive. It's not something that you're like, oh my God, this needs to be my wife.
Okay, but that is so extraordinary in my mind that like I might select for that. Like I might actually select for a girl who's like a world-class pianist or like an insane pickleball player. Because like then it's just like, okay, you're competing on the field with me and you're winning. Like you're doing stuff that I do and you're better than me. And then like I can admire that. And I'm like, oh, that's like amazing. Versus like if you're going to like if you like, oh, I play pickleball, but you're like a 3-0, then like it's like, oh, it's great that you play, but it's just like I'm not like, okay.
This is an interesting topic. I actually don't think the problem. Well, maybe it is for you. That's
Disclaimer:
your
I've
version of
had
it.
four tall boys,
Brother.
And also
I
disclaimer:
had
we have a
4 straight.
we have a dinner reservation right now.
Yeah.
7:15.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I just
right now.
I just felt like we needed to
wee-wee?
get canceled
Yeah.
real quick before
right
I
now.
left.
Like me
so
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
have a friend
7:15.
meeting us there.
Oh, I didn't know about this. Okay,
I need to stop wearing shorts to the podcast. I always forget about this.
add
It's always a
something,
bad
and then we
idea.
can wrap.
Okay.
I don't think I don't want to speak for other people. My problem is not at all a high-powered woman at all. My problem is when the relationship is one where you're competing in the same way. Okay, so like if she wants to work for Facebook or be an AI engineer or be an entrepreneur, and maybe her business is doing better than mine, I have absolutely no problem. I want the polarity in the home. I want the polarity in the relationship. I want the polarity in the sense of how we interact with each other in different ways. One person should be leading and one person should be following. And that doesn't mean that I should always be leading. I definitely don't always want to be leading with Erica. There are many instances where she likes to lead, but she mostly wants me to lead in most things at home. But there are definitely realms where she leads and I absolutely follow. And there has to be polarity. Where things fall apart is when we both have a conflict and both want to lead on the same goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't care about competing about. If she was like, I want to be the breadwinner and I want to have the high-powered relationship and I want to sacrifice family time for my achievements, we would have a problem. If she wanted to have a great career and I wanted to have a great career, that's not a problem. But one person in the relationship is going to make a little bit more sacrifice and miss a little bit more family time. That person's me. And that fucking sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a cost that I pay for, and I know I pay for it but I do it willingly because there's some greater cause and we've agreed that that's the way our relationship is going to work. But if we were both doing that, then that wouldn't work, because then these girls aren't going to see anybody.
Yeah.
So I think it's about polarity more than it is about like, oh, I don't want someone who's kind of like trying to compete with me in the work world. Personally speaking, you know?
And to clarify, like, I don't care if you have a job. It doesn't like bother me. It's just like I just don't care. But if you are like, you make like $3 million a year, you're extraordinary in your field, and you're like, I want you to stay home, like, then I might be like, okay, like, I respect that. But like, I'm not bothered by the fact that you work. Like, I'm not like, don't work.
How would you guys feel if your, girlfriend, wife, partner made more money than you?
I wouldn't care at all, actually.
That doesn't
I wouldn't care at all.
I wouldn't care.
Neither do I.
I wouldn't care. I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying is I'm not selecting for, like, I do not care, like, if I meet a girl and she makes like $150K a year doing like some girl boss job. Like, I don't care.
It doesn't add anything.
It doesn't add anything. I'm not putting it down, but like, I'm just saying, like, if you orient yourself around, and that's like a huge thing, like, it doesn't move the needle for me. I would rather you be like just more traditionally feminine and do things that move the needle with me. That's just me. I know everybody doesn't agree with me.
I just want someone who's doing something. That's what,
no. People doing stuff, like, I have to respect you for something.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a lot easier for me to respect you for doing like traditionally like feminine things, because it's stuff that I can't do and stuff that is like filling a hole in my life, versus like, I'm going to respect you for doing a thing I'm already doing, but you do it like worse than me, and then you don't do any of the other stuff. I'm like, okay, like, you're a fine person, but it's like, I'm not in love there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.